Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com.
What?
Welcome into Chief Talk. It's your wonderful Thursday night cigar show here in Travelers Rest. Welcome into the show. It's your favoriteest Thursday night cigar show host, the hostess with the mostest. I'm looking for my I want to say microphone, but I'm looking for a remote control. I can't find it. I can't cut that light on. I have to cut this light on. Make me a little bit more balanced. There we go. Welcome into the show. How are you all doing? Big welcome into the 2 week in a row first commenter of the show, my boy Supremo Tobacco. Charles Adamson says, "Hey Brian, keep it warm." Then Brian responded back with, "It's miserable outside, 111 degrees Fahrenheit on my patio thermostat. Oh my goodness, golly." Banker John, welcome into the show. Greetings, y'all. Happy Thursday. Fair winds and following seas to Bob the Cigar Guy. Yes, Bob the Cigar Guy will be off to Europe tomorrow. At some point, he leaves out of America, goes to more America, and then goes to Europe at some point. So, only 100 up here in the hills. I'm in my air conditioning shop this afternoon. Jay Bates, what's going on, Jay Bates? How are you doing? Bob Ellis says, "Hello, everyone." Mac Bergson, "Hey guys, trying to install a garage door opener, and of course it isn't going all planned. I'll be on and off." Well, don't ask Jay how to install. I'm sure Jay might have already gotten the comments on that one. Not sure. Charles Adamson says, "Not that bad, Jay. It's only 28% in the humidity zone." Yeah, that's not too bad. Jay Bates, "Somebody got his hair did." Ooh, I did. I got my hair cut last weekend. And I thought about wearing the beanie just for you, Jay, but I figured, maybe he came for the haircut since I said I was going to get it last week. I will say, I told my wife I think I might have to start looking at possibly shaving my head here soon because my widow peaks, they're going back on me. They're going back. I noticed it last week on Chief Talk on the replay. I'll go back on Facebook and I'll replay and listen to the sound. And it actually reminds me, I wanted to, I don't know if I have my lavalier mics. I think I have them with me. Because even though you can hear me, it doesn't sound as close as I would like it to sound. But I don't know if I brought my lavaliers with me. They might be at my house, and I forgot them like a goober. One more pouch to look through. And like a goober, last week I left my laptop charger here at the studio. Oh, look there, lavalier bag. Left my laptop my laptop charger at the studio, and couldn't work on my laptop for very long this week. So let's see, testing 7893. Got that old University of Michigan math system going. How's that sound? You guys like that a little bit more? Charles Adamson says, "Well, at least you have the tools, Mac. You do have the tools." Garage door sponsored by Milwaukee. Let's see. Mac, I warned you. Call a professional. Brian is jealous of Charles. The commish. What's going on, commish? Bob the Cigar Guy says, "Hey, everyone." Well, Bob the Cigar Guy, he's actually here in the studio with us.
I wasn't here, but my name was said 3 times like Beetlejuice, and I just appeared.
No, when I made the call last week to our boy Sammy Flo, who will be on the show tonight, he told me, he was like, I'm not leaving till Friday like midday. So I was like, oh shoot, well dang, I must have made a call too soon because I thought he was leaving on Thursday. So tonight we were like, oh well, you're here, so you don't got to work tomorrow. You don't even get to be at the airport that early. Like you get to sleep in tomorrow. It's not even a rush.
You gotta go to Starbucks and have breakfast.
Why not have Bob the Cigar Guy on? At least until Sammy Flo gets here. Maybe we'll kick him off then. I don't know. But Sammy Flo, I talked to him earlier. He's been doing some stuff up in Albany, New York. So he said he was going to be about 15-20 minutes behind. So while we wait for Sammy Flo to come on, we're at least got Bob. I'm sure we'll leave Bob on.
Can I make a suggestion for next week's show while I will be out of country?
Let me tell you who I thought about reaching out to. Tim Swanson.
No, shut up.
I
will text him and say no.
I have thought about
no
messaging Tim Swanson.
You cannot
on the show
reach out to Tim Swanson, Steve Saka, or Eric Gutmerson.
I can reach out to whoever I want. This is cheap talk.
But I got a phone call from a guy last night. He goes, "Hey, how far is Charlotte from your house?" This is like at 9:30 at night, right before I'm about to go to bed. And I said, about 2 hours. He goes, "Oh, I'm stuck in the airport. They've canceled my connecting flight."
Oh, Law
Ream. He was so upset. But I was thinking, how cool would it be for you to have on Law Ream and Jack Hire?
I thought about it.
That would be freaking
I thought about having the Davidoff Bros on. That's what I call them, since it's
the
Camacho and Zeno. I thought about it, but I thought, man, that's a lot of moving pieces.
It's only 2.
How long was Law in Charlotte for?
He has stayed the night.
That sucker. I am going to.
I don't know if I told him to reach out to you or not, but I think I told your mom. I said maybe I should tell Steven.
I'm going to text Law right now.
But yeah, he goes, "I'll see you in 2 hours," and I'm like, "LOL, what?" Because I had to go to work. Yeah, Biheke Bob, Steve Saka gave me a shout out last night on Summer Saka.
Did he?
Yeah, he was talking about one of the giveaways he's going to be giving away is some of the bench tested new 10 anniversary Liga that he's making, 10 anniversary cigars, making the anniversary cigar, I should say. And he goes, it's not going to be perfect. It's not going to be this and that. He goes, but it's kind of like those cigars that I've got sitting in my humidor that's been there forever. I had a box of Biheke and I just gave the last 2 away. I just use them to give to people when they come over. And who was that I gave to? Oh, Bob Finley came over to my house for 4th of July, and I was sitting there going, "Oh, I got blasted." But and Steven Schufelt, Steven Schufelt, he's a local guy. He won the King Squatch 8-foot tall one.
Oh wow! And
Steve Saka made a plea. He said, "Look," he goes, "I know Abe spent $10,000 on that. Whoever wins it, I'll give you $5,000 for it." He goes, "I want it, number one, and number two, I just want to know that Abe had to pay $10,000 for something, I only had to pay $5,000 for it." And so Steven messaged me today, and he goes, "I gave it to Steve." And so I don't know if he gave it to him or if he got paid for it. I said, "Well, Steve will take great care of you." So it is going up to Dunbarton in New Hampshire.
Well, that's cool. I am watching the numbers slowly. Last week we hit 20 before we even got into the show. We're sitting at 17 right now. But I do know that the NFL season is kicking off tonight. So I assume we might lose some people to
Speaking of football,
the sports.
How about them Gators?
Oof, don't remind me. So let's go. Mac Berkson. Oh, glad I didn't miss this week now. Bob the Cigar Guy. Michael Zakovic with the BTCG. Do you have enough time to hit Harbor Freight free items tomorrow with a purchase? He actually has to go past Harbor Freight and past my house to get to the airport. So if he wanted to, he could buy them and just drop them off at my house. Please don't. Ronald Smith, hi all.
I'm combination wrench set.
No. Ronald Smith says, hi all. I'm in a sleep center waiting to get hooked up for sleep apnea. Ooh, goodness, they want me to do that too, and I keep telling them no. Peter Giannis, is this a repeat? I don't know. Is this a repeat?
No, I have not left yet. We leave out in the morning. So
Charles Adamson says, did you upgrade that mic, BTCG?
No, this is a mic I've had, and I'm cheating, actually. I bought this mic off of Amazon, eBay, whatever, for $20. Crappy mic, but it's got the stand. It's got the cool look. I wanted to go with the look with that. And so I actually have our good microphones actually hooked up to a little lavalier down here. So this microphone's not hooked up at all. It's the little microphone that I use for doing all the reviews, and the ones that Chief uses as well. The Rode Go 2. So, but yeah, it looks fancy. It looks professional, especially when the light's on it just right. Look at that. Oh, look at that right there. Oh, that's may the Schwartz be with you.
Lord Guard, hey Chief, hey,
There's a low ring.
Peter Janice, I thought BTCG was going on a cruise. He is tomorrow. Lord Gar, serious. Glad you got to try one. I bought mine when it was only 56 bones. Isn't Babyface Triple G in or near Greenville? No, he comes to Greenville.
Who is Babyface Triple G?
Greg, who we trashed last week about the whole. You gotta look 30 in order to not be ID'd. No, he lives about 2 hours from me, but his brother, I believe, lives in Greenville. So he comes through my area often. Lord Gar says Gary Brooks says he shouldn't give it to Steve. Hopefully he sold it to Steve. Did he sell it to Steve, or he just gave it to him?
I don't. He didn't say, and I wasn't going to say. Did he pay you? That kind of sounds janky.
Look, sell it for
Steve is going to do right.
Sell it for $5,000, or get it for $5,000 worth of Dumbarton tobacco and sticks that retailers pay for. So sell it for $5,000 or get it for $10,000 in cigars.
Yeah,
that's the way to go.
I'd like 150 unicorns, please.
Right. Let's see. Let's get through some more of these comments. Probably low numbers because your header said no BTCG. It's called Chief Talk. And we're at 24 people right now, by the way.
Winning.
Dan Burns, hiya. How you doing? I see Saka drop that cut of 400 bones. It's a little under 400, right?
Yeah, it is.
And I know that if you pay another $50, you can get a really thin leather pouch for it.
From Cigar Medics?
Yes. Ronald Smith says his wife says, so you must be snoring. Jay Bates says, BTCG enjoyed the wine on your trip.
Oh, Jay Bates. Boy, I tell you what, never drink a whole bottle.
As long as Chris Stone doesn't go, he should be okay.
Really? See, I said that to Jay when I was talking to him. I said, I felt like I had to say Stone.
Peter Giannis says, I loved the Pistolina wine video. Adam Wolf, howdy family, finishing up some paperwork for work, so I'll mostly be listening. I love it when you listen and you don't talk. Yeet! Laureem, hey, we were actually just talking about maybe trying to get you and maybe even reaching out to Jack Heyer to be virtual guests on the show next week. But I'll hit you up in between now and then, probably tomorrow. Making the podcast tour. Lord God, no way I would give up that statue. Maybe if it was the BTCG. Like, what are you going to do?
Oh, I was hoping Steve was going to say, hey, Bob, you know, I don't have a place for it. You want that for the studio? And I've been like, yeah.
I do see that our esteemed co-host is in the green room. I'm letting him get ready, making sure he's all dappered up and dimed up. He gave me the double thumbs. I see you hit the private chat. I see it. I did think about wearing my Barber and Cigar shirt, but I thought Sammy would be wearing his, and I was like,
and they couldn't tell y'all apart.
I couldn't do that. I couldn't be upstaged by the man himself. So we'll maybe maybe next week I'll have to make sure I wear it because he won't be on next week. But let me get through the rest of these. Only got a small podcast on New England booked for now. Well, better not be next Thursday. Questioning your name last week. Who was questioning my name? I stopped breathing 15 times an hour. Oh, lordy be. $400 for a cutter. Yeah. When I talked with somebody not too long ago, and they had said they thought it was around $600. There's no way. Mm-hmm. I think it's too expensive as it already is, but I get it. It's a novelty item. It's a novelty.
But ST DuPont has cutters which cost over $400.
Yeah, but it's an ST DuPont.
It's a freaking.
It's an ST DuPont. I got into a small argument on, and actually we will talk about this on show. So without further ado, my man, Sammy Flo!
What's up? What's up? What's up? You guys hear me?
All right. No longer need this guy on the show.
That's how it should be.
No. You know what? You can leave him on. You can leave him on. I'm actually proud of him because the bone I was going to pick with him was he's going away and said last week he's not going to get on. But you know what? Bob, Steven, he gets on. Why would you not get on? And you're not flying, and you're not flying anywhere tomorrow.
He so called you out.
I'm glad to see you're on.
Thank you, Bob. I love you.
What do you mean I'm on?
No, he's talking about.
I'm talking about. No. He said he wasn't going to come on, but I'm saying, Bob, there's times you saying you won't get on. You were not going to get on. You're not flying nowhere tomorrow. So I'm proud of you. I'm glad you're here. You're safe with me. Sammy. You're safe with me. We're good. I'm glad you're
all right. So
now, are you only here for a short time? A good time, not a long. Good time, not a long time.
I took a day off yesterday. I was gonna work through it, but I ended up working 14 out of 15 days, and so I decided to take yesterday off. And I got all my packing done and all my other stuff done so that I had some opportunity to hang out.
Listen, Sammy, before you hopped in the green room, I had mentioned that, last week when I called, because I called you last week, Thursday, right? Yep. And I said, hey, Bob's not going to be on. You're the first person to who I would love to bring on. You were the first one. You weren't the alternate. You were the first person.
I appreciate you, my brother. So I love you. That's why I love. So are you saying that Bob was hating on me and figured, I can't have him shine by himself, so let me get on?
No.
So
Tell me the truth, Chief.
Last week, when I told him, because I told him before
do a Bob here. Let me see what I can do, Bob.
When I told Dad, Bob the Cigar Guy, when I told him that you were going to be my co-host, he was like, well, I'm going to be here Thursday. And I was like, I didn't know. I thought you were going to be gone. He was like, no, I'm not leaving till Friday at 1 o'clock. I was like, 1 o'clock? Like, dog, you're going to be able to sleep in? So when we started the show tonight, I said that this joker, he's going to be on with me tonight, at least until you come on, because he, there you go.
This is hard to do.
I mean, look, you guys got it down for you. I'm glad I don't have to participate in the tomfoolery. Now, actually, before you join too,
your beard does look sharp, sir.
Thanks, sir. Thank you. We do need to say a quick prayer for Mac Bergson. He is attempting to fix a garage door, and from I
hope he didn't call Jay.
I hope he didn't call Jay.
God, dog, y'all are crucial.
Speaking of, he said, Sammy, what's up, buddy?
Jay Bates, what's up? We are now going to Jay Bates' YouTube channel on how to fix anything, not just a garage, just anything.
Shout out! Thanks for hanging out with us, brother. We appreciate you. Take it easy. Enjoy your evening with your lady, Matt Brugger. Welcome in to the show.
Shout out to Gracie. She's working the car mill and she's sneaking on her phone. Girl, get off the phone, get to work, make them cars.
Keith Sr. says, I don't know if watching on TV counts, so I logged on my phone to add your numbers. Appreciate it. Any screen that is watching it, whether you're subscribed or not, or logged in or not, or on Facebook or YouTube, it all counts. So if you got me on 30 TVs in your house, even if it's the same account, it pops every single one. But without further ado, I'm glad to see that you're smoking an Under Crown 10.
Tawani.
A 20.
The Tawani, the Pedro exclusive,
Pedro
baby.
exclusive.
It's for a reason. There's a purpose, because it has to do with Pedro, and Pedro plays a part in our story.
Well, I have a special cigar for
Lord.
tonight's show as well. Now,
is it a barber pole?
It is not a barber pole. It is not. But it is something that I think will garner a nice little belly chuckle from you.
Oh, geez. Here we go.
Once you see what the cigar is.
Oh. Now, is it paper band?
It's a paper band. It's a paper band.
It's a paper band. All right.
It's a paper band.
I have not gotten my hand on that because I have not been to the shop in Jersey that sells it. So next time I go over there, I like to hang out with those guys over at Fanatics.
Great smoke.
So
I definitely have to pick that up. Is it? Good to hear. That's all I've been hearing.
I have really enjoyed this cigar a lot. This will be the first time I've smoked this Vitola.
Oh, look at that right there. What?
Look at there. Got the matching one. I got the black myself. Now, before we go any farther, before we continue with the shenanigans, the tomfoolery, and the fun time that we're about to have, right? For the people who don't know who Sammy Flo is, I would like to introduce you guys to the man who, to my understanding, runs the Barber and Cigar Company. If you have ever been to a Barnsmoker since 2022, so if you went to the Barnsmoker, any of the Barnsmokers or the Savage Feast in 2022, you attended any of the Barnsmokers last year in 2023 in Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and Florida, or if you have been to a Barnsmoker this year or are going to a Barnsmoker this year, you are going to see that man, Sammy Flo, with his Barber and Cigar Company. Now, you guys are responsible. Quit interrupting me or I'm going to kick you off. You guys are responsible for like 32 and a half haircuts for Bob the Cigar Guy.
Yeah.
So
we love it.
I am so appreciative that you take care of that ragamuffin.
No,
I also know that my mom is happy that you take care of that ragamuffin. So
that's right.
From my Finley household to his Finley household, the Barber and Cigar Company. We love you guys. We appreciate that. Now, outside of that,
we look forward to Bob.
You guys are you and your partner are some of the people that I look forward to seeing every single year the most when it comes to working the Barnsmoker crew, right?
So Mac Bergson's out?
Mac doesn't do it anymore.
Jay Bates is out?
No, I said some of the people. I didn't say they were the only
Jay
people.
Bates.
Bob,
you got upstate,
Bob, we didn't bring you on tonight. Bob, we didn't bring you on to Chief Talk featuring Sammy Flo for you to start something.
Right.
We're not going to be starting something. We're not going to be starting.
We got to keep you humble so you don't try to get the first lady to come in here and give stuff away.
Oh, I already texted her. She'll be on around 9:15.
My boy Brian met Sammy at Savage Feast. Dude was so friendly and so nice. I would have gotten a haircut if I wasn't embarrassed about being drenched in barbecue meat sweats. I'm sure
so
just
Brian,
about every
Brian, shout out to you, brother. Thank you for that intro, Chief. And let's clear something up. This is an exclusive. Sammy's actually not a barber. Wow.
See, I wasn't gonna bring it up.
Drop the bomb. I bring it up. I bring it up all the time. Yeah. So people call me Sammy the Barber. I run with it. Sure. If that's what you want to call. I'm not. I'll be more than happy to give your shape up. But your wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever you roll with, they're not gonna be happy.
So you like the Don King to Mike Tyson? So
I am the cigar part of the Barber and Cigar. But the Barber and Cigar, I run the show for the Barber and Cigar. I started with George. If you guys remember George, he was out with me back in 2022. And this was actually his baby because he's a master barber who has the shop, the one shop we do work with out of Port Jervis. Shout out to George. and he does a lot of ministry work, a lot of work with the youth. You know, we talk to the community, and we do a lot of community events. Due to, you know, personal reasons and running the shop and him, you know, wanting to reach out to kids, it's difficult for him to come out to events. And he'll come out every once in a while, or we just meet just to have cigars. But great dude, and so we, so this is something we spoke about. And actually, he, let me go back. He actually, what he did was he got a bunch of barbers together at our local lounge, which I wanted to actually do the show from there tonight, but because of football and it's just one big room, it was going to be too loud. And today, from what I understand, tonight's the first game, so I was like, you know what, I'm not going to do that. But I just wanted to do it from there because that's kind of where everything started. He had a meeting with a bunch of barbers, and I was a fly on the wall. He invited me. He said, hey, why don't you come out, since you know about cigars, come smoke with us and stuff like that. And I heard his vision about just tying everything together, the whole barber and cigar industry, because it goes hand in hand. You still have cigar lounges, whether Canada, different countries, some here in the Midwest, that still have barber chairs. And actually, there are some places that have barber and cigar concept. So it's not something that we created. It's just something that kind of is coming back, I would say, because you didn't see it much. I've told the story many times that one of many years ago, when I first started smoking, I was working down in the city, and one of the shops that actually one of the first lounges I went to was Billy and Gus's Lounge. Um, hey, hey, are we?
Hey, hey.
I'm not sure if I would look like
Hey.
Gus from you know, the guys that make El Pulpo and Viva la Vida. They had a lounge down in the Second Ave, and they had a barber chair there. It wasn't an active chair though. So it's funny now doing this kind of takes me back thinking about that chair whenever I went to their lounge. Because again, like I said, it goes hand in hand. And I anytime I visit a lounge that has a chair, I love taking a picture and things like that. So when he started talking about it a few years ago at the Middletown Cigar Lounge here by me, I said, wow, this is, he has something that we could actually work on and make sense. And so we just started working local events. We started reaching out to the lounges, and that's where I come in with the cigar part, because he was fairly new to smoking cigar, but he knows the barber industry. I know a little bit about the barber industry just because I know a lot of barbers, and I grew up with barbers that own lounges, and I was their guinea pigs when we were teenagers, right? So I know that game too. So I started reaching out to contacts that I know in the cigar area and say, hey, whenever you're doing an event in the metropolitan area, would love to join you. Would love to bring this concept, explained it to them, and they loved it. So we started doing that, but nobody else wanted to really jump on board, which is unfortunate. I think sometimes people don't see the vision. They just, you know, they, for whatever reason, nobody really wanted to jump on board. I did, because I said, hey, this sounds like fun. You wanna give hot towel shaves, you wanna smoke cigars, sit there, relax, you know, just like the ladies go to get their nails done, hair did, have a good time, and they're talking smack at the salon. That's what guys do at the barbershop anyway. But
Right.
now we're gonna bring the cigar element to it. That's awesome. So we started running from there, and it's been working out. It's a slow progress. We're gonna get to where we want to get to. We're not there yet. And I know I've talked to Bob about it in, you know, bits and pieces whenever we're at Barnsmoker. But I know we can, you know, I would love to eventually sit down with you guys offline and have a conversation about it so you can understand where I'm going with it and what I want to do with it. Um, because we can't be everywhere. You know, we can't be in the West Coast, Midwest, everything like that. But what I do enjoy and love is that one of the first lounges that we did an event not far from me, one of the members from there ended up moving to South Carolina.
Oh
It's
wow.
called Good, and he opened up a lounge down there with his brother. It's called Goodfellas. I think it's actually one of Will's account. I could be mistaken, but anyway, it's Inlet, South Carolina,
Merle's
something.
Inlet?
Yes, that's it.
Inman.
Merle's
That's it.
Inlet.
So I think it's called Goodfellas Cigars. And he loved when we did the event here. He loved it. He was one of the first guys to get on the chair, got a fresh baldy, shave and all that. And he said, "I want to do what you guys did." And I said, "Well, we're not available to come down, but we'll be more than happy to help you because we're not afraid. Again, we didn't start this. We're bringing some spice and sazon to it and some laughter and again, we also smoke cigars. Not every barber smokes cigars. They may smoke something else, but not cigars. So we told them, look, we'll help you. And I said, all you have to do, help the people that are near you, help the local shop that's near you and probably needs more business. Bring him on board. And that's what we did. And he had a great event. And he gave us a shout out. And I respected him for giving us a call. That shows respect and love, you know what I mean? And so that's what we're about, and that's what we've been doing for a few years now. Rob, who you see more often, he's our second affiliate barbershop that we work with, and his shop is in Newburgh, New York, and he also has the mobile lounge, which is great because we brought that to some cigar lounges that don't want like hair clippings on the floor at their lounge, which I respect, especially when they're like catering food and stuff for event. So we'll bring the barber bus to the front or wherever we can park it, and the guys come up into the bus. So the bus holds 2 chairs, has AC, very comfortable, and we smoke in the bus and give haircuts, which is great.
Nice. Now, I love. I was gonna see if maybe you had a little bit of the history since you've been involved with this for a few years now with the barber and the cigar together culture. Like, what's the history with barbershops or cigar shops having a barber chair? Because I have walked into cigar shops before and I have seen barber chairs. And then I can also remember in old Americana, you used to be able to smoke anywhere, right? I can remember as a kid going into like Shoney's or Denny's or something like that, and we want smoking or non-smoking, right? Back when America was free, and you could give kids dip on the school bus.
Those days are gone. Those days are gone.
I would love to know like a little bit of if you how much you know about it or whatnot. I'd like to get a little insight of like what's the connection with just the barber essence in the cigar shops or whatnot.
Well, I've actually asked that questions too. I've actually reached out to a couple of the guys that have the lounges with the barber shop, and like I said, a couple of them they had the idea because they do smoke cigars, but one thing that comes up and is that it just goes back era where I don't know if a lot of people know the blue and don't quote me on this, you can look it up, but the blue and red on the barber pole, it actually red it because they used to cut people back in the day. They didn't have these nice fancy razors like they do now, and so it has to do with actually the blood of when they were shaving people.
Oh dang.
And then the blue, I forget what the blue symbolizes, but it goes back where you used to go to the barber shop, and the barber shop you would be able to smoke, like you said. Your barber probably could. I remember my barber pulled out my tooth. I hated him for that when I was like 7 years old. Why I still remember that is because he didn't warn me. He just pulled it out because it was so loose, but you just had that connection of, hey, what we need a place where we can come, hang out. Let's play dominoes. Dominoes is huge in the barbershop. Checkers, chess is huge in the barbershop, in the back of barbershops. So not too many, you don't see it so much where Cigar Lounge.
Sammy, if you can hear us, your camera disconnected. It's done this thing a couple times where it pops in and out, and I don't know if he's getting like a phone call or a text message or something, because I know he was doing it on his phone. But I'm going to drop him down. Well, I mean, we can leave him up. What I'll do is I'm going to drop you down and put you back. We'll just have him in the middle. Sammy, if you can hear us, we can't see you or hear you.
My back.
Now we can. Yeah.
You there?
I'm here.
Okay, yeah. Now we can see you. Yeah, it had done this. It had done this
Sorry
thing a
about
couple
that.
times where it had dropped you down and then brought you back in, and we weren't controlling that
But
on
I'm
our
back.
end. I know some people have been like, "Oh,
I apologize for that. But
no worries, no worries, no worries. You're
so
good."
so the little history I know is that it's just that it's something where people wanted that nostalgic feeling and wanted to go somewhere where they can hang out. It was a safe space, and they can go get a cut, whether a shave or a haircut, but they can also have a cigar. If it wasn't a cigar, it was a cigarette or whatever. And that's where that, and like I said, it died down. It was something that's been going on for many years, but then it goes away for different reasons because depending where you live, you can't do this. I mean, here in New York, you can't smoke in the barber shop, so
Yeah.
we can't have that. That's why we invite people to come into the barber bus, um, or unless if it's nice outside, we have a yard for both shops, or you could sit out front. But
Right.
it also too in today's age, just to be honest, you also don't want to hurt business because if a mother's walking with her kid,
Right.
she sees somebody smoking, that's not where she wants to go. So
Right.
we are mindful of that, and so that's why we we make sure to let's bring it to the lounge or let's bring it somewhere outside. We've done pop-up events where we go somewhere and do it outside.
Right.
And then whenever we do our community events, obviously there's no cigars involved. It's just community events for the kids.
Now, you guys a few times have partnered with Ed Randolph and Handsome Devil Barbecue, right?
Yeah, shout out to Ed, man. So we've been involved now for a couple years, and Rob's shop is actually only a few miles away from the Handsome Devil restaurant in Newburgh, because Ed does have a second location in Poughkeepsie for anybody that's in the New York area. But so he does a charity event, which I believe is the second Saturday in April, and he does that event along with Matty Rock and Sanj
Shout
Patel.
out my boy Matty.
Matty Rock.
And so we come out and we set up shop outside, and again, just have a good time. People come and they love it. You're getting barbecue food and you're getting drinks and you're getting the local flavor from any distilleries or breweries and things like that, providing some good drinks. You have us, and we're local. Also helps Rob because a lot of people have actually come to his shop after the shave experience at these events. I mean, we've done events at Casa de Monte Cristo in Whippany, New Jersey,
Right.
and that's about an hour and 20 minutes from us. And we've had people come to Georgia shop in Port Jervis to get a shave because they left feeling good. We want you to feel good. We want you to sit down and you want to just talk about life, whatever you want to talk about. We'll talk pretty much almost anything. We'll talk about and just have a good time.
Right.
There's always a story, and I feel that barbershops are like cigar lounges. So many stories are shared,
Right.
so it's a good
Yeah.
time.
I'm a huge fan of aesthetics. Right. I'm a big fan of aesthetics,
Hmm.
and the aesthetic that I tend to lean to for the most part. And for anybody who's ever seen a wide shot of my side of the studio or who's ever been here in the studio, I am very much a fan of that old world, like,
Gentlemanly.
I don't want to say gentleman's club. I want to call it like an athletic club, almost like a clubhouse on the golf course, right? Think of the Masters green color. Think of the board and batten walls, the white trims all around, whatnot, the leather couches. Like I sit in a leather barrel chair every week. We have a couple
That's
of them
cool.
here
I didn't
that
know that.
we do. So I'm a very big fan of that old world vintage style classic, and a lot of that is claimed to my wife because she's always been into the old world farmhousey type boho shabby chic kind of sort of style and aesthetic, and it's grown on me. Because I was a jock in high school, varsity captain, went off to college to play sports. Like I never thought I'd be like, oh man, let's go find a farmhouse somewhere. But there for last year, there was a place that used to be a barber shop, and it has not been sold, and it's starting to get a little dilapidated. But it reminds me of an old world barbershop. When I was a kid, I used to go to a barbershop with Dad. I would get the old man little boy haircut, right? The little on the top, everything off the sides, and they would put a razor up to my face and tell me they were shaving my beard, right? You get a lollipop, you had the barber pole going, but it was all white in there, and you had the porcelain sinks, and you had the white floors, and old guys playing checkers up at the front. Very white. There are a lot of white people where I grew up, at least at that point in my life. But I've always thought, how cool would it be to turn this? And it's a large it's an older shop. It's very large, very long. How cool would it be to turn this old barbershop into a cigar lounge, but hire out a local barber or hire a barber, to come and, do one of those chairs and set up a chair in the window, where it's it's that first chair feel, and you can actually book an appointment to come get your haircut at, Chief's Smoking Barbershop. But is that something, with the idea of the barber and cigar, is that something that you guys want to do one day, is open up a lounge and also have okay, so
absolutely, you hit it on the head, because it would be great if we can get, it's difficult again because a lot of these barbers, this is their bread and butter, this is what they do. It's hard to just have them come on. I don't know how much traffic they're going to get, but it would be great to do something where you're doing both, but you're just doing by appointments. So that Thursdays, all day Thursday, you're coming up, you're spending your day there, and then possibly all day, maybe another day out the week. So you get 2 days. Or another idea that we've kicked around is do from 5 p.m. till later on, because a lot of barbershops in the area here where I am, they close early.
Yeah.
So it'd be great. As soon as you're done, head to the lounge, because now you could get somebody set up for the next day.
Right.
Whether they have job interview. And again, it's all about marketing too, right? You have to promote yourself. A closed mouth don't get fed. So you have to make sure that you're promoting and letting people know, if you need something late, come on down. We'll take care of you.
That's one of the things I've noticed too. Like with my barber, I go to it's a new world barber, in the sense of, like, it's not a bunch of old men who are cutting hair. It's actually they have one guy. They have two shops now in two cities. They're at about 35 minutes apart. But it used to be just a bunch of women in a barbershop, and it was a barbershop for dudes. Now women could come in there and they could get their cuts, but
my first barber was a woman.
It's not a salon, right? You can come in there and you can get your undercuts or your pixie cuts or stuff like that. Ladies they don't discriminate, but the clientele, for the most part, and I go often, right, is men. And one of the things I've always hated is, like, especially when I was working at the plant, was I really had to work around my schedule when I was going to be able to go, because they close at 4 o'clock. Their last haircuts from 3:15 to 4 o'clock. And I was like, man, I feel like there's an almost an untapped barber market from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Get a guy who comes off of their work, especially if you're catering, not to sound sexist or chauvinist or whatever here. Not that I think anybody would accuse me of it for real, but I feel like in the barber department, when you're really reaching out and leeching out for men to come and sit in your chair and whatnot, even in still today's society, you just have a lot of those dudes who want to get a nice cut, a nice shave, or a hot towel or whatever, but they've had to work all day. And I tell you what, I don't know what would be much more refreshing than, after working a whole long shift, going and sitting down and somebody wiping a cool towel on the back of your neck to cool you down, and then get to going and wash your hair, do all that stuff. Of course.
No, it sounds great. And let's take a night. Let's take a day like tonight. It's Thursday. It's the first football game. So you get out of work at 5. You want to go grab some dinner, and you want to come hang out, have a cigar. If you're an NFL fan, you want to come watch the game and get a shave or a haircut because you want to get ready for the weekend. Come on. That's a win-win all around.
Right.
And just to do a package deal, you know, again, it's all stuff in the works. So it's all stuff that we are putting on paper with ideas and um, you know, but everything takes time. You know, everything takes time, and
Right.
but we'll get there.
And honestly, I think, and obviously, there's the sense of the R&D you have to do that you guys are doing. And obviously, I'm just coming from this of a mental standpoint of just basically these ideas are coming to my head as we're talking. Or, I've thought of like,
and
it would
that's
be
how
cool to
things
have
that's how things happen, right?
a barber shop. But to me, it's like, one of the cool things about going to Cigar Lounges and especially if like you don't have your own spot to smoke at home. Like, I've got the studio here, right? I have a 24/7 lounge at all times right here, right? I got a key.
Mm-hmm.
I can get here myself. There's power out here. There's a refrigerator. I could come out here and I've got my own
Bob
spot.
gave you a key?
Heck yeah, son. There's no choice. He don't want
I
to
don't
have
know if
to
he
mess.
gave you the key, but
He don't want to
it's all
mess
about
with
wording. You know, all the
Oh,
big guns. Yo, I seen the
but
flex too, man. I seen the flex
yeah,
lately. It's
yeah,
like,
son,
man,
yeah.
this guy's like this.
It'll
I
get
was
him
like,
going.
yo, what is wrong with this guy?
But
I don't know if you're actually like showing off the working out or if you're threatening somebody subliminally. Like, are you threatening somebody online?
no, that's just showing the games, baby. Look, I'm so big and so scary that I don't have to threaten people. They just know, right, not to get on my bad side. That's how it's always been. Like that's what I said. Like I didn't have to fight in high school because people didn't want to fight me. So you
I hear
keep
you.
you be big enough. You keep it. I mean, we've met. Like I'm a large person, right? It's like you just
I
have
hear
to
you.
shoot me. You don't fight me, just shoot me, right? Make both of us not have to go through the peril of sweating that much.
I'm not saying nothing here, but there are show muscles and there are go muscles, and
Oh wow.
I don't have to show. I just go. So.
Right. And then there are AARP inclusionary muscles.
Old men don't play fair. I'm just saying. But I'm going to jump in real quick. My only gentlemanly indulgence is that opportunity to get my hair cut and everything else. And one of the great things that is afforded to Barnsmoker is I get to come see y'all and get to sit down in the chair. I get to do it before everybody gets there, so it's all fresh and ready to go. And it sets my mood for the day. It really it energizes me and just makes me feel like I'm just glad to be there. I mean, getting to see everybody and hanging out, that's amazing and wonderful. But that just it's like the gate to Disney. It just starts you off on that journey of excitement and enjoyment. And Sammy, he filled my heart with joy, but he almost broke my back into pieces at this last Barnsmoker. Chief wasn't there, so he doesn't know about this. But
Uh-oh.
I pride
Uh-oh.
myself at the Barnsmoker as being the guy that just does whatever needs to be done. I jump in there, I get things done. I sweat more than everybody, I hustle more than everybody, and this time, every time I went to go do something, Sammy was already there doing it. I was like, "Dang it, Sammy, you taking my lane, buddy." Usually he's schmoozing and hanging out and helping this and that, but I was packing backpacks and Sammy was right there grabbing backpacks, and I'm like, "Dad, Jim it!"
Hey,
So I go somewhere else, and Sammy be there.
I had to help out due to the whole weather situation and
And you did. You jumped in
so
both feet, and then that night after it was over, we're sitting there, and I was invited over to play dominoes, which I don't play
that's
dominoes,
right.
and very, very, very
You did great.
kindly they made me think like I was winning because they're able to count the dots on the dominoes, and they knew what I was going to play before I played it, but they
No,
still
you were
set
doing
me up
good. You were doing
to
well.
win. And then I played the Bajinga thing to where I got
Copy cool.
25 extra points. Yeah, Gabagooba or
That's it. Copy
so
cool, baby. Hey, Bob, you're gonna be Dominican before you know it, brother. You're gonna be saying que lo que, and all that.
Well, I tell you what, now that was a fun time. I mean, that was fun. The fact that y'all played like y'all were at the kids' table, so I didn't feel like I was gonna get just stomped and whooped. And I mean, the guy I was playing with is my partner. Never met him before, and I think if I would have played really bad, he might have been very upset with me. So I appreciate your kindness of
He's a good guy. Andre, I believe is his name, and
No, but
he's does his own cigars. Nice guy.
going back to the the whole idea behind owning a cigar shop that also has a barber experience in it. One of the things that I enjoy about going to barbershops barbershops, but for really more for me, cigar shops, is anytime I go into my local shop that I frequent more often than any of the other shops, is there's always somebody in there that I saw when I was there the last time, right? That not somebody who works there. So you have your regulars. And if you were to, I just feel like it makes a whole ton of sense. Like if you have a cigar shop experience, you're going to get a lot of people who come in and hang out. Like Adam Wolf, he just moved not too long ago, and he's up at a local cigar shop because, hey, I've moved from Florida to the middle of nowhere, North Carolina. I love cigars. I know people at cigar shop love cigars, so I'm going to go up and hang out with them. And there's so many wonderful things that you can, learn from people at cigar shops. There's so many wonderful people that you can meet while you're at cigar shops, just like Barnsmoker, right? There's so many like-minded people that you run into, whether it might not be like-minded politically or religiously or whatnot, but there's a like-mindedness in a sense of coming together for the essence of the leaf. And I feel like it would be a bonus. I think you might end up getting people in there that come just for, but I'm getting my hair cut in a cigar shop. I don't smoke cigars, but man, it's cool. I get to sit here, I'm in here with the man's man,
And it goes the other way too, Chief, where we've had people sit in the chair that really didn't need a haircut or a shave at the Barnsmoker or even at the lounge, but they just want to experience a hot towel because they've never even had that.
Right.
It goes,
yeah,
it's just different, man. You sit in the chair, it's just different. It's different, man. I mean, I'm waiting for the day. Now, I'm not sure when it's going to happen, but I'm waiting for the day that Chief is going to sit in the chair and we're going to do something. I mean, I don't understand. I came on Chief Talk I with no hesitation. And then, I tell Chief, why don't you be more like your dad, Bob, and sit in the chair? And all I get is, I'm strong, I'm swollen.
I'm too big for the chair. You guys have
too big for the chair.
Dainty chairs.
You'll fit.
You have chairs for little dainty guys.
You'll fit.
Those are the antique barber chairs. You fit, and those things hold.
Yeah, but I'm not an antique size guy. I'm super large.
You'll fit.
I'm super large. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Look, surprise us one day. Don't worry. Well, listen, I know many people they divorce their wives before they cheat on their barbers. That's just how it goes. But we won't tell her. We won't tell your barber. We won't tell her. She doesn't need to know.
When I sat down in her chair last Saturday, it was the first time I had been to the barbershop in over 3 months, and she just looked at me and she was like, "Did you get lost? Did you forget where we were?" I was like, "No, I just let it grow out." I didn't want to let her know. I mean, I hate paying $55 for a haircut and a beard trim, but ultimately, she does a great job. I love when she, what she's done with my hair, where she's gotten my beard to the point where it's at now. But I have told her, before the last time I got my haircut was right before PCA. I was like, yeah, we've got some, and I had talked to her about you guys, doing barber stuff at a cigar event. Cause I was like, what would you think about that? And she was like, oh, it's awesome. If I had, if I was in any kind of ring like that, it'd be kind of her fiance smoked cigars. And she just thought that was a really cool idea that out on a farm, there's 500, 600, 700 people out there to smoke cigars and have a good time. But 2, there's people lined up, to get their hair done or to get a little shape up or whatnot. Now, the only reservation I have now about sitting in your chair is when Bob comes and whispers in your ear and hands you a $45 bill and says, "Hey, just take a little chunk out of the beard." So now he has to say, "Oh yeah, go ahead and shave it off now."
Things happen. Those are just risks that we take.
No, that ain't a risk I'm willing to take. I gotta stay married, dog. I gotta stay married.
She married you with no hair on
and
your
we've
head.
I had a beard.
And shout out to the couple ladies that we've had actually sit in the chair too. Had a few Barnsmokers. They've actually got edged in the back, which is pretty cool. So the chair's for everybody, anybody and everybody. Come on,
I'm just glad you
come
didn't
on
say,
over.
yeah, we had to hook him up with a shave real quick to get rid of that 5 o'clock shadow.
Man, that's so wrong. That's so wrong.
It's Chief Talk, baby. What are they going to do about it? Now, I will say one of the things that I find, it does not surprise me is, Bob the Cigar Guy and I have been going to Barnsmoker since 2016, right? No, 2017 was our first year. 2017, we went to Kentucky Barnsmoker. 2018, we went to the Kentucky Barnsmoker. And then 2019, we ended up at Kentucky, Florida, and Louisiana. And then they didn't do the Barnsmoker in 2020. They didn't do the Barnsmoker in 2021 after they canceled it real late. And then 2022 comes, and you guys were one of the new additions to the Barnsmoker atmosphere. And you guys and the crew of 2 who did the 360 photo booth, you guys are the most busy Essence outside of sitting under the tent and doing the raffles or doing the opening ceremonies or eating. You guys are the most steady, busy groups. And now it's just you guys, right?
Yeah, they're the last one standing.
With no 360 booth. But you guys have done such a fantastic job with providing a sense of like people want to come to Barnsmokers, I think, just to come and sit in a chair, get their photo taken. Because when Barnsmokers happen for 2 weeks, you've got photos that are going up of, you guys are posting photos, you guys are posting videos, and then other people are hitting Facebook and Instagram, tagging you guys, tagging Drew Estate and saying, look at me sitting in a barber chair smoking a cigar.
Yeah.
And I think,
oh, they love it. They love it.
It's fantastic. It's awesome. And I love that, you guys do that and you just have
so happy to be involved. Yeah, we're so happy to be involved, and it's been a great partnership, and praying it continues. But
right.
Yeah, it's been great. It's been fun. And like I said, when people sit down, we're meeting people from all over, right?
Right.
And just have different conversations, and they get, they'll ask Rob, well, how do I do this? And how can I maintain this? And what can I do? And so he's, educating people too, because that's part of it too. Obviously, you're
right.
a Barnsmoker getting a tobacco education, but if you're sitting at the barber chair, you're also getting a barber education.
Right.
Because if you wanna invest in a small machine that you could get for $40-$50 just to at least shave, not so much get a haircut, but at least maintain the shave, why not do it?
Right.
Look presentable for when you go to work. Look presentable for your for work or wherever you do in life.
Before we get into
it's been great.
Before we get into
what's
my
that?
next
Chief?
is Chief. Old P Face will sit in the chair. So Peter Jones, we called him P Face because he just has the P as his logo. So a couple weeks ago, it took off as P Face. Old P Face will sit in the chair if you do. Honestly, if you never had a barbershop shave, do it. It's amazing. I have never had a barbershop shave. I've never had like a hot towel shave, like a straight shave.
Oh, it's amazing.
Now I do when I get my haircut, and I do the haircut and beard trim is what I normally do. I do get a hot towel on my face, and she trims this with a really close shave trimmer. But under here and in the back of my neck and behind my ears, it is a straight razor shave. She is a master barber, so somebody had said in the comments earlier, Fireborn, a stylist told me once that she had an extra barber certification in order to use a straight razor. Is that the case everywhere? Stylist or barber are not the same license or certification. I know that my barber, she was doing haircuts and shaves, but she wasn't doing the straight razor because she wasn't a master barber. That was 2 years ago. Now she's a master barber, and she can do all of it.
Yes. So you have to get a barber license in order to do that. And also since COVID, we have to get certifications of cleanliness. Got to get certified because they do come around. You some similar to, like, I don't know, like food inspectors, right? They come around and make sure everything is on the up and up, because the last thing you want is somebody to sit down and you're not cleaning the machines.
Right.
So you'll see the barbers with the sprays. You know, it's not just wiping it down. You got to spray it down. You know, get ready. Obviously, you got to change the razor for the next person. Wipe that down too. Um, so yeah, there's certifications you have to do, and you have to go through a barber school and get the license. At least here in New York State.
I will
I
say
don't know
this.
about other states.
I'll say it here, and you guys can hold me to it. If I,
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Stephen Finley, if I ever decide to shave this off, to go clean all the way down, I will let the Barber and Cigar Company be the company to shave it all off. I will not go to my barber, have her do it. I will wait until the barber. But here's the bad news: is I'm not shaving it off anytime soon.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Yeah, I know. Not anytime soon.
Said he'll donate $300 to a charity of your choice if you do.
Hey, I mean, that doesn't make me the bad guy.
He's
available.
Cool. We have a video. Well, we posted it last year, but it was cool. Nick Nasty, donated his hair.
He did.
So there's an organization that Rob is involved with, and we brought it over and donated the hair. That was cool.
He came in and got another haircut at this Barnsmoker too.
If
he did.
Look, it would have to be a very large amount donated to Cigars for Warriors cumulative made, because I know there are people out there who have the funds to do it that would love to just see me suffer for the sake of suffering. And so because I know that there are people out there that are willing to do it, I have to do my job as a good Samaritan or somebody who would love to see, donations made, whatnot. It would behoove me to make sure that donation number is a large amount.
So what's the number?
We're not talking about that.
What's the number?
We're not talking about
What's
that.
the number? We can't hit a target if we don't aim at it.
There's always a number, man.
What's
There's
the number?
always a number.
What's the number?
We're not doing that.
$500?
No! Somebody just pledged $300. You think I'm just going to make it easy to where people can just do $5 at a time?
$1,000?
No, it's going to be a large number. Not like $25,000. Nothing that crazy, but it would
be an event.
Have to be
$2,000?
No, I think it would have to be over $10,000. But
$10,000.
This is not because I think Steve Saka, who wanted to spite me for $500 to eat hot peppers, would say, you know what? I'll just pay for it. He was about to pay $5,000 for a statue.
$5,000.
No. At this moment, it's set at $100,000.
No, you said it wouldn't be in 25.
Because I'm not making the deal right now. But if $100,000 came through with no chargebacks, I'd do it.
$5,500.
The day will come. The day will come.
Let's iron this out. $5,500.
There are enough people out there that would love to spite me and just see me suffer.
Think of how many servicemen $5,500 would go to give them cigars for Cigars for Warriors.
Yeah, but think about how many. How much better it would be for $100,000.
But you might not get that. But you could get $5,500 maybe. That's a big ask.
Chief, when did you begin the growth for the face?
So I have not had a clean shaven face since I started growing hair back after cancer, or chemotherapy. Cancer didn't make me lose my beard. Chemotherapy did. I didn't start growing out a full beard until probably 2018, 2019, somewhere in that range.
Wow, so that you will feel so weird.
Oh yeah,
so $1,000 a year.
Yeah, no. If the last time I had a baby clean shaven face was 2013.
So $5,500.
No.
It's just not going to happen. That's all right.
What's the number?
Look, I would love to sit down and have a conversation.
We'll do this. We'll do this. How about this? We'll make sure Bob's not around, Chief, and we'll just clean you up right here and down.
How about you just shave the left side of your face for $5,500?
No, because then we would only make $5,500. No way. And Brian
Bob,
says,
who
to spite you or to help veterans? No, it would be to spite me. It wouldn't be. They would be happy that their money's going to a good cause. But ultimately, the reason they're doing it is to spite me, to see me naked faced.
It grows back.
It does grow back.
It
It
grows
does.
back.
But I know $5,500 would be raised in a week if it got the right channels. If somebody posted it on Facebook and Steve Saka got a hold of it, or other people who watch the show and have money that would want to do it, it would happen.
$6,000.
No, it's more. It's more.
What is it?
All right, so I'm gonna make a flyer. I'm gonna make a flyer, and I'm gonna put the flyer up at the next Barnsmoker with your face, and it's just gonna ask, how much are you willing to donate to see this baby face?
$6,000.
And let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. I'll put that flyer out in Kentucky, and then we'll see, what response we get, and then we can make it happen in Florida.
And that's the thing too, is if it's advertised at Barnsmokers, there are people who just want a reason to give more money to Cigars for Warriors. And be like,
how great is that?
You know what? I brought an extra $1,000 to give Cigars for Warriors if there was just something that I wanted, but there was nothing up there I wanted. But you know what? To see that guy naked face, I'll give that $1,000.
There we go. That's it. We want
Peter
to see
Jones
that
is up
baby
to
face.
$500 now, looking for a match.
No, we're not matching. There is no binding anything. Save your money.
$6,000. $6,000.
No,
we're up to $6,000. Wow, this is great.
No, Brian's just saying $6,001. No,
and this is like the Price is Right. Come on down, Chief.
No way.
Come on down. You're the next contestant on Shave That Face, baby.
Look at that. Look at how much love you can give.
To go ahead and pivot to another topic tonight. So we've got an essence of where the idea of barber and cigar comes from, the love and the idea behind the whole entire the love child that is the barber and cigar. While you're not a barber, you are a cigar smoker. You take control over the cigar aspect, 100%. When did you start your cigar journey?
2000, I would say 2003.
All right. Take us back to 2003. Young Sammy Flo. What got you started in 2003 on cigars?
So occasionally, very, very occasionally, my dad would have a cigar. No band. It was some cheap whatever from the neighborhood. My grandfather smoked pipe. And just the aroma, the sound, like, man. So I would grab my dad's cigar and just without him knowing and stuff like that, of course, right? But then, when I got older, I just I was around a couple friends, because you would have it occasionally, right? Maybe at somebody's wedding or somebody's big birthday, whatever. But then I went into a lounge. I think it was the Rex Lounge down like in the Wall Street area. But I was one of those that, I think one of the first one was like one of the acid Cuba or something like that. And I was like, yeah, this is too sweet for me. I'm not into this. And then somebody schooled me and said, no, they're not all flavored. And then they introduced me to a Fuente, which for some reason people love introducing Fuente first. I see that often, which is fine. And then from there, it was liftoff, just had a love for it, wanted to learn more about it. And then somebody introduced me to, after that Cuba, they introduced me to the Drew Estate line. And I love the story that it was from Brooklyn. I'm like, whoa, I grew up in Manhattan. So to see a local, somebody from the 5 boroughs started something here locally, I was like, yeah, this is my kind of story. And then I just started visiting lounges. Wasn't too many at that time in the city where you can go, and a lot of them also were like private members. You needed to know somebody. You needed to have a couple dollars to get into some of these exclusive places. But I found my way in. I'm in sales, guys. That's what I do. My bread and butter is sales. So I'll find my way in. And then from there, it's just attending different different events. Like one of the first ones I went to was what's the name? Cigar Fest, when they used to do it, Cigar International, many years ago, and just started going to events like that and getting together with folks locally. Um, I mean, there wasn't a big social media presence at that time, so you didn't hear about herfs and things like that so much back then. So it was more just getting together with local friends, but it started from there. And then I was like smoking everything too. I was like, oh, let me try this, let me try that, let me try this. But then slowly you're like, yeah, I don't like this, I don't like that. Because once you start narrowing things down and you're like, oh, I like this. This is my wheelhouse. I like this. Oh, I like a Maduro. I had a period where I was going for like 660s. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yeah, I don't want 660s. Now I went into the Robusto. So then I had my Robusto phase. Then I had a torpedo phase. So you just start learning and people start schooling you on wrappers. And whenever I went to visit family in the DR, I would go to different places and local places too, that they would actually roll cigars out there. Not no big companies or anything like that, but just smaller boutique companies out of DR that were doing cigars. Many without bands, definitely not metal bands, and just enjoy different cigars. But now it's just I narrowed it down. I mean, I have an Undercrown 10 every day. That's a must.
So before I get into the next situation, there's people who are saying they're putting up more money. There's like, guys, stop. We're not doing that right now. We're not agreeing on anything.
We're up to 1150. We're up to
$11,050,
1150.
No. Brian,
Chief,
Supremo Tobacco,
I thought you were a man of the people.
Brian
I
is
thought you
not
were a man of
saying
the
he's
people.
sending $6,000. He's not saying he's sending $6,000. Brian, if you were to actually be sending $6,000, I'm going to punch you when I see you next time.
Brian, what do you need? You need the Venmo? You're sending it over now?
We are not raising money right now.
It's a wire transfer. This is great.
We are not doing that. I did not throw down $6,000. So
we are sending Chief and his family. We're sending Chief and his family to anywhere in the U.S. on vacation for a week. That's what it is. We're sending Chief and the family anywhere they want to go. Kids want to go to Disney World. Great. We're going to Disney World.
Makes
sense. November, Barnsmoker, Florida. Last time I checked, Mickey's in Florida. And we're going to bring the family. First lady's going to come down, record everything. This is going to be huge. Chief Talk on the road. The Shave. 2024. The Shave.
Okay. If we were to ever do this, right, which I'm not saying we ever are doing it, but
you're entertaining it. That's the part I love. You are entertaining.
I'm always willing to do silly, dumb stuff, right? And I also know, and I've told barbers this before, my current barber or whatnot, like hair's hair, like it grows back. My facial hair grows back. My beard was just down to here a couple weeks ago, and I plunged the razor right in the middle of it because it was just too long for me. It was bothering me. My hair will grow back eventually. So I am not attached to my beard hair and like, no, you guys, I'm not one of those guys like, no, you'll never put a razor in my face. There has always been this thing in the back of my mind of like, what could I do with this face of hair? Because there are people out there that are willing to donate money to have this beard shaved. Would we send that money to charity, Cigars for Warriors, or the Save the Leaf? Would we reinvest that money into the studio, into the Bob the Cigar Guy universe, so that we can, travel to more places and get more coverage, go to different countries, buy more studio stuff, build onto the studio, new computers, whatever. There's a whole moving think tank behind it. It's not like this is just something that's come up. If, though, we were to do it.
What was that, Brian? We're up to 7,000? 7,000. Okay. We're up to 7,000. Jay Bates, you're throwing 50 bucks in? 7,000.
Anyway, it's too cheap. Okay. If
Oh.
If it were to happen, there would definitely be a very concerted effort to make sure that money is, it's all transparent. There's no weird gimmicky stuff where people are worrying about, where did the money actually go? I would love, like I said, if I ever get this face shaved, it'll be Barber and Cigar Co's who do it.
It's gonna be a big event. It's gonna be a big event.
At a Barnsmoker.
Can't wait.
Maybe, one day down the road, we talk to Drew Estate and be like, hey, what if we, did it up on the main stage or something like that, or people came out or whatever, we come up to New York and we come to one of your events and we live stream it there or whatever. Maybe one day eventually we do it, but we are not seriously taking money bids right now to shave my beard, because I believe that
the bids begin now.
We would be funny and say, "Oh yeah, it's $5,000," and then somebody who just happens to have $5,000 laying around says, "You know what? Here's $5,000," and then all of a sudden, holy crap! Now we've done it. So, anyways, before we do now, transitioning from that again, and before we jump more into your cigar,
hang on. You're lucky because First Lady just texted me, and we have a house emergency. Evidently, one of the windows has fallen down, and the air conditioner is blowing the exhaust back in the house, and so I have to leave and do that. But from what I heard Chief just say is, if we hit $15,000, he's going to shave his beard in Kentucky. So
no, you did not hear that. Are you coming back out here? Okay, so Bob is gone for the evening, so everybody say goodbye to Bob.
I'm just happy that Bob showed up. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming on our show tonight, Bob. It's been great having you. We'll see you in 3 weeks.
Yes. God, no. Yes, sir.
So before we go any farther in the show, I do want to give a shout out to the show sponsors, Drew Estate and Quality Importers. Make sure that you guys are showing them love in the lounge. Make sure you guys are finding them online and checking out all the wonderful deals. Also, we do have our own custom merch over at chevettereport.com. It's the only link in the description. It takes you over to our website where you can sign up for emails and be a part of, getting the information from the cigar culture that gets released every week. There were a couple things that I wish I could have been able to release this week, but I did not have my computer charged. I accidentally left it here at the studio last week. And so there will be some articles that go up tomorrow that have been posted throughout the week.
Tell them to check out the La Pistolina video.
Check out the La Pistolina video that just went out this week. It is the conspiracy cigar, the conspiracy wine that was talked about on the show where we had Michael Giannini and Michael Giordano on a month and a half ago. But if you are looking for Bob the Cigar Guy and Chief merch in the sense of a cigar cutter, a cigar lighter, or a cigar travel humidor, or a cigar rest if you order all three, we do have all that merch available on our website. It's at the very top of the website that says merch in all orange, and you can go ahead and get you some stuff over there. We do have some of that stuff, and here soon we're going to be having some new stuff coming out, so looking forward to that. So definitely a big thanks to Quality Importers and Drew Estate Cigar Company for keeping Chief Talk on the air. Now, when you were talking about, getting into cigars, and the thought or the whole entire history behind like starting off, where you did, why you did, and how you kind of transitioned through cigar vitolas and cigar blends and cigar companies, I want to know, what was the first cigar that you thought to yourself, or maybe you did do it, I wish I had a box of those cigars?
Early on.
The very first time.
Wow, the
For
very
me,
first time.
and you
That's a
can
great,
take a little bit
great
of time to think about it. And what I'll do is I'll say what mine was, and we've talked about it before. But the first cigar, so when I got into cigars, it was very much a recreational kind of. I want to feel like a dude, right? Um, I had moved out of my parents' house and into my own house, and it was not too long before I got married to my wife. And we had this detached garage from it was a farmhouse, old 1800s farmhouse that we lived in, and it had this detached garage that had been built in the middle 1900s, and um, it was full of spiders and snakes and all sorts of stuff, and an inch of dust and dirt all on the floor. And I grew up in my dad's shop. Dad owned a hot rod and custom shop for most of my childhood growing up. And then at the house, like we couldn't afford to pay people to come and be a handyman at the house. My dad had to learn it all, right? And so we had friends come over and teach me, because that was before the Google age, right? There was Google, but it
Mhm.
was when you could Google something and you would go down to the bottom of the page and it would have GOOOOOOO, and you could click on each O was a different page to take you on that
Yeah.
page, instead of just like a never refreshing page. But you could get to the end of the internet, right? Nowadays, you can't get to the end of the internet. There's so much information on the internet, you just can't get to the end of it. So back then, it was very much a do it yourself or pay somebody to do it for you. We were so broke, but my parents couldn't afford to pay to have somebody come out and do it. We just had to do it ourselves. So I learned how to do a lot of woodworking, a lot of digging, a lot of concrete stuff, electrical, plumbing, all that stuff as a kid, because my dad was doing it and he had me hold the flashlight or hold the wrench or whatever. So when I moved out and had that little detached garage shop, I was like, you know what? I want to buy some tools and I'm gonna build some stuff. And so I had smoked a few cigars with Dad, probably maybe 10, 15, 20 cigars before that transition in my life, becoming my own man on my own in a house by myself. Um, but it was just a handful of just smoking when he was here, right? And so I started picking up smoking just every time I went out to the shop. I didn't pay for cable. I paid for internet because I was playing my video game. But when I was out there, when I was doing yard work, I wanted to have a cigar. So I basically just grabbed cigars for the convenience. And all cigars pretty much tasted the same to me. And I'm not a cigar reviewer. I'll tell you my opinions on cigars. I know what cigars I like. I know what flavors that I like. And, Steve Saka himself says that he appreciates my take on the cigar industry with the palate, because my palate and his palate happen to line up in a lot of ways, which is a huge accolade, because Steve Saka is a master blender for Drew Estate, master blender and owner of Dumbarton Tobacco and Trust. So, for me, like, I don't review cigars. I've done it before. I might do it in the next couple of weeks since I'm here house sitting for my parents when they're going to be gone. So while there is some videos coming out from Bob over the next couple of days while he's gone, I will be also putting out some content myself. Um, so it was about 6 to 8 months in when I got a cigar that I was like, oh man, I love this cigar. I really like this cigar. And so every time I went into a lounge, whether it was the one lounge that I got the cigar from the first time, or any other cigar lounge that I ever went into, I was looking for that cigar and ended up buying a box of them. And it was a cigar that's no longer in production anymore. It's from CAO. It's the Brasilia, which is a cigar, but they had a Vitola called the Carnival. So the CAO Brasilia Carnival was a 6.5, 7-inch, 54 ring gauge trunk press. And that was my first love. Now they don't make the cigar anymore. But I had moved away from the cigar. I was starting to move away from the cigar when they discontinued the cigar. But that was when I really got hooked into chasing a cigar.
So hooked on chasing a cigar, and I don't ask me for years but it was well after I started. It was actually down in Miami. My cousin gave me a T52,
Okay.
and that was it.
That's what got you.
I had to get one of those because I'm like, man, I haven't had something like this,
Right.
and still love it to this day. But man, back then, whatever year that was, because I have a lot of family down in Miami that moved from from the city, so I would visit them at least once a year, and oof, had to chase that one.
Now you purchase and smoke and chase down, which it's not hard to chase anymore because of how popular they are and how available they are. You're a big Underground 10 fan.
Yes.
Do you still feel like you chase that T52 flavor as much now as you did then, or has your palate changed to where I
It's
like the
changed.
T52?
It's changed, but I really enjoy it though. I
Yeah.
still enjoy it. Yeah, I need to make sure it's still stocked in the humidor.
I came across an online posting for the CAO Brasilia during COVID.
That's
Somebody
such a
had sent.
popular cigar.
Well, the regular CAO Brasilia is, and it's still a part
Yeah,
of their line, the staple line. The and it's funny, like,
people
and
ask for that a lot at the local
I
lounge
have
here.
I have experienced this with other blends, but when it comes to the CAO Brasilia, just the Brasilia, I'm really not that big of a fan of it. I I see them in lounges all the time. I have gone back and smoked those cigars, getting them in Cigar of the Month packs when we used to do the Cigar of the Month with Corona every month. But they, for whatever reason, the Carnival for me was top tier, upper echelon. That's what really spoke to me. Um, Funny enough, the
Ano-
cigar that ended up replacing that cigar for me is a cigar that I still chase today, and that's the Kentucky Fire Cure Sweet.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't had that
Well, you're going to have a perfect opportunity next month.
this weekend.
Oh, well, I won't be there.
Oh,
So
okay, gotcha.
I didn't know the Barber and Cigar was going to. That's awesome.
No, not the Barber and Cigar, just Sammy Flo.
Oh, just Semi Flow.
This he's just gonna go and get away for a couple days
Nice.
because it was a last minute thing, and literally last minute thing.
So are you traveling down tomorrow and going to be there the night before, or are you traveling down
So
Saturday?
no, tomorrow morning. I'm not like Bob. I don't need, weeks to put my clothes and my outfits together and all that. I could I could just throw some things in a bag and let's jet set.
There's
But
not
you know
many.
what's another one, by the way? 2015, went to the Nat Sherman Townhouse. Oh, that's another one I used to chase a lot, different Nat Shermans.
Mm,
And I found, well, this is two parts. I found some old at a local shop here, um, on the PA side. I'm actually not too far from a border of Pennsylvania. Um, and they just had some old Nat Sherman, timeless, um, and the Supreme. Man, that Supreme. Have you had a Supreme?
I haven't had anything from Nat Sherman.
Dude, I'm gonna bring you a Supreme. You're gonna love that. But 2015, something I fell in love with when I went to Nat Sherman, El Güegüense, aka the Wiseman,
Oh, yeah.
when it came out in 2015. And I'll never forget that because I ended up getting a box for my cousin because I was his best man at his wedding down in Florida. And man, what a great smoke. When I had that, I said, yeah, this definitely has to. And I actually ended up finding it recently because I know it's, a different blend now. So I
Yep.
actually went online to purchase a few of the OGs to keep in my humidor.
Nice. Yeah, those are hard to come by now. Ever since
Oh, once I
the
found out, I made sure to go online because I knew people were going to be after it.
so Nat Sherman is now Ferio Tego. Oh,
Ferio
okay.
Tango.
So
Yep.
I have, when you said timeless, I thought, well, Ferio Tego has timeless. So I have
Well,
had Ferio
yeah.
Tego.
So Michael was VP of the Nat Sherman, of Nat Sherman. who he now owns the Ferio Tego brand. We actually did an event with him this past summer at
nice.
at the Casa de Montecristo. Great event that we did with them, and that was awesome. But man, those OGs of Nat Sherman and just the townhouse. The townhouse, just you went in there. It was such a cool place to have a smoke and talk to the tobacconist. They had the piano up top and everything. It was sad to see when they closed it down, but the building is still there. It's now a CBD store now.
Have you ever done anything with Fine Tobacco New York City, NYC?
Mm-mm.
Because I feel like one of the guys in the Dead Leaf Breakfast Club, his name is Matthias, and he lives outside of the city, but he does a lot in the city, and he runs a company called Fine Tobacco NYC, and he puts together a lot of like social clubs, like you were talking about earlier about the whole getting into some of those lounges was a little more exclusive, harder to get in. He runs a lot of those type of events, and I know he runs heavy with park lots. So when you said
I would
that,
I would love to see what if he does any event. I would love to attend one.
yeah, he's Matthias. I'll send you his Instagram profile.
Yeah, definitely.
After the show. But yeah, he does some ticketed events. He just did one last month with Skip Martin and Romacraft. I think that was a really successful event. But he puts together. I think he works with. I don't know if it's clubs that he works with or lounges, but I know he also works with liquor companies and all that kind of stuff. And you pay a ticket fee, and you get to go and you experience the cigars and the club atmosphere and whatnot. It's very, very highbrow, upper echelon. But no, Matthias is a good guy. He runs Fine Tobacco NYC. But that's I didn't know that Nat Sherman is now Ferio Tego. Yeah, Ferio Tego. There's a few cigars from Ferio Tego that I'm a really big fan of. The Ferio Tego Generoso was a fantastic cigar.
Yes.
Some of the timeless blends, I'm not sure which all the timeless blends I've had, I have enjoyed.
Yeah, because they got the Pan America and the Supreme, the Prestige.
But Herklotz is a little high for my wallet range. So usually when I indulge on those, I usually just buy one at a time because I'd rather go spend $7.50 a piece on Umagogs or Kentucky Fire Cure Sweets or $13 on a Liga.
I gotta try that sweet.
Oh yeah, definitely. And a lot of times when I tell people that, especially people who have been around for a long time, that's one of my favorite cigars of all time, they just kind of look at me like, "Are you an idiot?" Because a lot of people look at the Kentucky Fire Cure and the Kentucky Fire Cure Sweet or the Swamp Thing, which is now discontinued. They look at that with their nose up, like if you were to say, "Oh, my favorite cigar is an Acid Plush," or "My favorite cigar is a Deadwood," or "My favorite cigar is a Gurkha," or "Oh God, if you ever hear anybody say your favorite cigar is a Rocky Patel, run." But I have in the past gotten some looks when I say KFC Sweet, man. I love that cigar. It's a cigar that I go to. We talked about that last week on the show about autumn, fall coming, and what are your favorite fall cigars to break out during this time of the year. KFC Sweet, for me, it embodies the essence of autumn, fall.
Now, are you the type that you go get yourself a pumpkin latte, throw the pinky up too?
I don't drink pumpkin lattes.
Okay, good.
I don't do pumpkin spice anything. Now I love pumpkin pie, but I don't do pumpkin spice anything.
Okay.
Now, do I get all fancy and pinkies up and basic white girl when it comes to the apple drinks that are at Starbucks? You better believe it, because I am a simp for apple. My birthday is next week, and usually for my birthday every year we go up the mountain, not too far from where my mom and dad live, and we go to an apple orchard. And they do apple donuts, apple ciders,
Love
hard
those.
apple ciders,
Oh man, love
and we pick apples. Now that I'm in like a healthier phase of my life, like for breakfast every morning, it's apples and peanut butter for me. So I think we're gonna try to do that. Maybe I don't know if we'll do it this weekend. We might do it next weekend. Not sure, but yeah, that's what we normally do for my birthday every year instead of doing something, getting gifts or whatever. I love going up there because family gets dressed up in fall attire and we take pictures. And
So Bob's gonna miss out on this?
oh yeah. I told my mom, I was like, how does it feel that for the first time ever in your life, you're going to be out of country on my birthday? I don't think it's sat in with, because I'll be 33 on Tuesday. I don't think it's sat in with her yet that
the Lord.
This is going to be the first time she's ever away from me for my birthday. When I was in college, she was away, but she was only 4 hours away. She's going to be on the other side of the earth on my birthday.
Who's going to cry more, you or her?
I don't cry. That's not like some tough, highbrow, manly man kind of story. I just don't. There are very few things that make me cry, and I wish I did. I wish I had the.
Sounds like your pillow's going to be wet with tears.
I mean, it could be. I mean, I could turn into a puddle.
Look,
I'm a very sensitive, emotional dude. Like, I know Brian's going to come in the comments and just type sensitive, but Chief's got a nice soft side.
Chief is Mr. Sensitivity.
There is. I will, be there for you to put your head on my shoulder, and I will caress you and hold you if you need a moment. I will come down to that level, but I won't cry for you. I just can't. I tried to cry on my wedding day when I saw my wife for the first time. Couldn't do it. Felt like a total idiot.
You held it in. You held it in. You manned up.
Yeah, it's very rare for me to cry. Like, I didn't even cry when I was diagnosed with cancer. Like, and the doctor told me I only had 2 years to live. Like, I didn't cry. Like,
Did you cry? Did you cry for the birth of the babies?
Nope.
No.
Any of them?
You didn't faint. Nothing.
Nope.
You were a champ. Good for you. Look at
you.
I
was emotional, very excited, very surreal. It was very. It was sensitive. Like it's like hold the baby and be very calm and caress your wife and check on her, make sure she's okay. Like, I'm happy to do all those things. It's just I don't produce the
tears.
Like, if you see me crying, there's something really wrong.
It's because they shaved your beard.
Right.
Now
that may make me cry. You want to get me. So no, I think the last time I cried was at I think it's the end of the American Sniper Chris Kyle movie. The first time I watched it, when they do the whole
for a movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's based on the true story, right? But it's it's emotional. He comes back from fighting his demons of being over in war, and then he comes back and he's doing all of this, what he can to get through his PTSD, and he's helping out people, and then he gets shot, and then you get to see all the live videos of the parades they had for him, and all the police officers and the fire departments with the flags up and whatnot. It's a very emotional kind of situation.
You shed a tear. Okay.
I did, but no, Chief don't cry.
Look, don't cry.
My wife hates it. She tells me, "Why don't you just show a little bit of emotion?" It's like, I am, but I can't cry.
That's great. I love it.
I thought my wife actually told me, she was like, "You're going to cry when Ember goes off to school." Didn't cry for that either. I mean, I was sad, going back in the house, and I'm used to watching.
Maybe when they go off to college, maybe.
There's possibility when they get married or something like that happens.
You're gonna be older and you're gonna be even more sensitive, and that's when we'll see Chief cry. Man, now we got to see Chief cry and we got to see the beard gone. Now we're up to two things.
Look, we're not donating any money to make Chief cry. That's going straight to my wallet.
We're up to 7,400. Great.
Michael Zakovic said he cried at his daughter's wedding. So hopefully I'm a very long way away from that. My daughter's.
What's up, Mike? How are you?
My daughter's only 4, so we got a long way until she gets married. But maybe by then, Chief will be old, decrepit, and his olfactory system will work right.
Yeah, my oldest, her first day of high school was today, so that was I didn't cry, but that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very, very surreal feeling, like
because it goes by so fast. Like I remember her being born yesterday, and I'm like, wow, now you're a 9th grader? Like, what the heck?
Right.
So it's just time flies, man.
It does. For me, that's one thing I talk about with my wife, or some of my close friends will talk about, how fast time flies. And,
Really does. Really does.
up until I got married, life really seemed to go by really slow.
Very slow.
Felt like the years just, waned on. And, ever since being married and having kids, it's like, holy cow.
Everything.
It doesn't feel like it, but then you look back, like my oldest, he'll be 8 this year. And it's like, has it really been 8 years since I held my firstborn kid?
Yep, that's exactly what happened.
And so then you start thinking about, what's happened in the last 8 years, what's changed in the last 8 years, who are you in comparison to where you were 8 years ago? It was a very surreal situation. And Jackson started 2nd grade this year, so I'm going to blink my eyes and he'll be in high school, So
before you know it, that's what happens, man. I was like, wow, this is going fast. This is going fast. But
now,
you gotta love it.
With your oldest going to high school, did you celebrate any with her, or did you celebrate with yourself and have a celebratory smoke? What was that like?
No, I had to drop them off and take a 2-hour drive to a meeting. So I've been on the go all day today. That's why when I called you earlier, I was on my way back. So I got a little FaceTime with them after school just to see how, everything went. Because two out of the 3 are in school. So catching up, and when I go inside, I'll get the full details on first day, and don't like this teacher, don't like my locker, I have to walk so much, and this, that, and the third. They always have something.
My mom always told me, and I didn't believe it when she told me, that high school was the most fun years of her life. In the school realm, the most fun she ever had at school was her high school years. And when she told me that, when I got into high school, and it's funny, like the age difference between myself and my parents really isn't that far. My mom was 18 when she had me. So when I went into high school, right, she hadn't even celebrated her 15th year anniversary of being in high school, right? So it was still very, new, still recent for her. And so she told me, it was like, my most fun years were when I was in high school. And when I look back at my schooling, high school was some of my fondest memories, being, the new kid all the way up to being, the popular jock, varsity captain. It's like, those were the glory years. Now I have a lot of things in my life that I have enjoyed more than high school years, but when it comes to school, there's not much that really touches that. So I'm sure they'll regret it for a little bit, but then they'll start to really enjoy it. And then they'll be able to look back on it and say, man, where did all the time go?
It goes by fast. Absolutely. It goes by fast. Where are the comments, man? No comments? Nobody has anything to say?
No, they're in awe of us.
I think they're collecting actually money and getting a pot together for you.
Well, keep letting it grow, and then when we finally announce it one day in the future, you guys already have the seed money started.
Are you? So you missed Connecticut, so I'm sure you're looking forward to Kentucky.
I am. When they announced all of the Barnsmoker dates earlier in the year, the thing that made me the most excited was that they brought Kentucky back this year. Because last year was the first year of a Barnsmoker year they didn't do Kentucky. 2020, right. 2021, they didn't do Barnsmokers at all. But last year was the first year that they had taken Kentucky off of the list. And so Kentucky was my first Barnsmoker. Back when we went to our first Barnsmoker in 2017, I think that was the very first year that they had actually done multiple locations for Barnsmokers. And so Kentucky was our baby. That was our first experience. That was our toes in the water, dipping it in and getting a part of that Drew Estate Barnsmoker, or just Drew Estate culture at all. And then the following 2 years, the next year we only did Kentucky. And then the year after that, we did Kentucky, Florida, and Louisiana in 2019. And that's the only time we've ever done Louisiana. Now they don't do Louisiana anymore.
And I was kind of worried when they took Kentucky off, it was going to get the Louisiana treatment and it would never come back. So when they announced that it was Kentucky, I was ecstatic because I love the Kentucky Barnsmoker. It is, it's not as beautiful as Connecticut.
Right.
It doesn't have the charm of Pennsylvania. It doesn't have all of the extracurricular activities outside of the Barnsmoker that Florida does. But for me, there's just something about being in that barn of tobacco that's hanging and fire cured. You get to see them fire cure the tobacco while you're there. You're out in the middle of nowhere and just a bunch of barns and fields of just dry and hanging tobacco. And again, that Kentucky Fire Cure Sweet Cigar for me is just a little piece of for me. So I when they announced it, that was the thing that I looked forward to the most. And then when we realized that the start date for school for my daughter for her first day of school ever was the day before the Connecticut Barnsmoker, I was like, well, not going to the Connecticut Barnsmoker to miss my daughter's first day of school. So it makes it a little bit more sweet that Kentucky is my first Barnsmoker of the year this year. Obviously, we'll be in Florida. But I am looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to getting back to hanging out with the Drew Estate crew, the Barnsmoker crew. You guys included in that. The Road Dogs included in that. They're, like I said, at the top of the show, you're one of the guys that I love to be around when I get back with the DE crew and the Barnsmoker crew. I love seeing everybody, but there are some people that I basically say, "Hey, how you doing?" And that's all I talk to them at the Barnsmoker or the Barnsmoker weekend. And then there are those that I'm like, I want to see you all throughout the event. I want to hang out with you the night before. I want to hang out the night of. See you the next day. So I'm really looking forward to that. And then just getting back into the Kentucky sphere. The weather I saw earlier, it looked like it was a little chilly up there. Got a little that cold breath coming out. The weather here is starting to get nice and mild. So
yeah, it's dipping over here.
I'm hoping that Kentucky is nice, crisp weather the whole entire day. You get that barbecue smoke lingering through the air. You've got the fire cure tobacco that's going off. I am really looking forward to it.
That's awesome.
I really love the Kentucky event. It feels like the Connecticut Barnsmoker was just last week, and it feels like the Kentucky Barnsmoker is right on our heels.
Oh, yeah. It comes quick. I mean, once September hits, I just feel the rest of the year just flies by anyway.
Right.
Because there's so much going on, especially when you get busy with school and everything like that.
Yeah, school starts back up, football season starts. So, your Saturdays during the summer when you're not watching sports and you're out doing stuff with the family, and now you're watching sports and it's like, oh, I got another game next week. And, if you watch, like I don't watch NFL football, but I watch college football and I watch professional soccer. And so, I'm watching, multiple sporting events a week, and it does seem to just make the fall go by quickly.
Absolutely.
But yeah, we're right here on 10 o'clock. And I appreciate you greatly for coming on the show.
I appreciate you guys having me.
I did fully expect that you were going to be my only co-host tonight. So sorry that Bob took a little bit of the shine. And
man, Bob the hater. He's not Bob the Cigar Guy. He's Bob the hater tonight. Just want to come in when he wasn't even supposed to come. He's just that guest, that uncle that shows up to the barbecue that I wasn't expecting you. Why are you here?
Comes for the plate and then leaves, right?
Yeah, man. Then he just wants to leave. This guy, I tell you. Could you imagine if Bob actually just joins you next week from Italy or wherever he might be? That'd be interesting. Little Chief Talk international talk.
It would be like 3 o'clock in the morning for him to join if he did. And I know my father. He ain't waking up that early to just get on the show. But no, you were the first person I had on my mind to be my co-host this week, and I'm super thankful that you accepted. I'm glad that you hit my line and got back to me, and we were able to make this thing happen. I couldn't think of a better host to have instead of Bob the Cigar Guy. I think that you surpassed and met all expectations as
Chief Talk cigar host. So we will have to make sure that this is something that happens again in the future.
Absolutely.
Especially without my mom, because I don't need you in her ear saying, all right, what are we going to give away? What are we going to give away?
Yeah, I know she was caught up with something, so we'll have to postpone it. Don't worry, guys. Anybody watching, we'll make it work next time. We'll give away something really nice, something behind Chief. It's coming. Don't worry.
I got some cans of Dr. Pepper back here.
something will be given away before Chief shaves the beard. Okay.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That's gonna have to be like, I'm gonna come up with some legal binding term work somewhere before we ever officially do that. So Sammy Flo, go ahead and sign us out. Tell everybody where they can find you, so they can see more of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Be on the lookout. We are working on some stuff. Like I said, everything is in the works. But look for us on Instagram for now, Facebook, the Barber and Cigar Company, and any questions, DM me. Anybody that wants to work with us, work on something for the 2025. We're excited on where things can possibly go. Just got some things in the works. Like I said, takes time, but we'll get there. And just having fun. That's actually the most important thing, because if you're not having fun, then what's the point? So we're having fun with it.
And that's one of the things that I love about you guys, right? And one of the reasons why I wanted you were my first idea to replace Bob the Cigar Guy as host tonight, is you, as Bob would say, you G and Haw, you vibe out, you match the energy that we put out, right? There are so many times when we bring people on shows and it's like, what am I going to get out of these guys? What energy am I going to have to really push them to answer a question? And is there something that I have to kind of tiptoe around gingerly?
We'll talk about whatever, man. Talk about it all.
I knew Sammy Flo and the Barber and Cigar was going to be able to deliver, as Mac would call it, a Chief Talk experience to the max. So I do appreciate you coming on, spending time with us, taking time out of your Thursday night to hang out with us. I hope you have a great time at the family reunion this weekend. Anybody else who's watching who is also going to it, if you're currently still watching or you're watching this back on your way to work in the morning or whenever, find Sammy Flo.
Come say wonderful. Hi. Let's take a picture. Lovable. Let's say hi.
And he's huggable.
Absolutely.
And make sure you drop by and give him a little love, and let him walk you through the Drew Estate family feel. So thank you, Sammy Flo, for coming on. I appreciate you greatly, brother.
Thank you guys, man. Much love to everybody that was on. And like I said, hit us up. Any questions you have, anything you want to talk about, let's do it. Let's have fun. And if you come out to any of the Barnsmoker or any events that we may be in, come by, say hi. Give me a hug, and let's talk, let's chat, let's have some fun, because it's all about just having fun, connecting with the cigar and the leaf, right? That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, brother.
Thank you, Chief, appreciate man. You. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. I'll see you in just a few weeks.
Absolutely. Good night, guys. Thank you.
So that's it. Everything that you see on show is true to Sammy. Everything that he displayed tonight, that's exactly what we get to see when we see him at the events, every year. Like I said, for the past 3 years, we've been able to see, this is the third year, we've been able to see Sammy and the guys doing their stuff, slinging blades, slinging cigars, and just having a really good time. Really appreciate that he took the time out of his Thursday night to come on and spend some time smoking some stogies. You saw it was cold over there. I know Brian and Charles Adamson, you guys were talking about how it was 111 degrees in California today. It's quite the opposite up in the North New York section of the country. So thankful for him spending that time with us, coming on the show. I do want to make sure that you guys know that Bob the Cigar Guy won't be here next week either. I think I'm going to try to reach out to Laureem, formerly the Republic of Debauchery. Now he is Tobacco Cupcake, because he works with Zeno, which is a part of the Davidoff
family and platform. So we'll have to see if he's going to have a little bit of time to come and hang out with us next week. If not, I will look to have another guest on, just so we kind of continue the whole having a co-host in the stead of Bob the Cigar Guy, where we would normally have the banter back and forth. So do make sure you check out ChevetteReport.com. It's the only link in the description. As always, it's the only link in the description. If you go over there, you can get caught up with the cigar culture and everything that's come out here recently. We didn't get to talk about some of the stuff that happened this week, but there were a couple cigar warehouse fires this week. One of the leaf sorting companies for Adventura caught fire this week, and then I think it was early today, one of the warehouses for Aganorsa leaf also caught on fire. So do be keeping an eye over at ChevetteReport.com for the cigar news, the culture news, what's going on over there. And also, if you have not gotten any of our merch and that kind of tickles your ears, or you've been waiting to pounce on the deal, if you do go over to ChevetteReport.com, at the very top of the screen, it does say merch. And you can get yourself a lighter. You can get yourself a cutter. You can get yourself a cigar travel humidor. And you can also get the bundle pack that comes with the cigar cutter, lighter, travel humidor, and wooden cigar rest. That's the only way you can get this wooden cigar rest anymore, is if you do go ahead and get that deal. Now, with Bob the Cigar Guy being out of country, I would have to figure out how to get all that stuff shipped. I mean, I can do it. But don't let that stop you, because I can make things happen. I'm Chief, baby. I make things happen. So thank you all for hanging out with us. Do appreciate it. Again, thank you to our show sponsors, Drew Estate, the Roberta Cigars, and Quality Importers, especially Zycar, and all of the wonderful things. Go get you guys some stuff. Splurge. Get you some pre-Halloween treats and gifts and whatnot. We do love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with us. Appreciate it. It was a fantastic night. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Have you checked out ChevetteReport.com? It's the newest cigar media outlet to keep you in the know with all things cigar lifestyle related. From press releases to reviews, we have it all covered. Be some of our first members to join ChevetteReport.com and be a part of the next step in the cigar culture. ChevetteReport.com.
What are you doing? What are you doing here? Show's over. Go home. Go home. Show's over. What are you waiting for? You waiting for another show? This is a one-ticket entry. Go. Bye.
Go. Go. Go.